Welcome to the deep dive. Our mission here is pretty simple. Take the information you need to know and really unpack it.
Yeah, so you walk away feeling genuinely well-informed, and today we're doing that with something, well, something pretty fascinating.
Definitely. It's the astrological forecast from our good friend Lorenzo. He's just incredibly insightful.
He truly is. We've both known him for years, and for anyone who maybe doesn't know his work, he has this remarkable gift, understanding the cosmos, how it affects us down here. His insights are always so illuminating.
Absolutely. We have total confidence in his unique perspective. And what we've got for you today is his full monthly forecast.
That's right. We're not summarizing. We're not skipping a thing. This is the deep dive, after all.
Exactly. Straight from the source. This one focuses on a really significant astrological event. What's the title again?
It's Lilith in Scorpio 2025, Cancer Rising. Forbidden desires, dangerous joy, and the rebirth of your creative power.
Whew. As a title.
It covers the period when Lilith transits through Scorpio, which is March 29th to December 20th, 2025. And it's specifically looking at how this impacts those of you with Cancer as your rising sign.
Okay, so if you're a Cancer rising, listen up. Lorenzo's taking us on a journey. Let's just dive right in. Here it is.
Lilith in Scorpio 2025, Cancer Rising. Forbidden desires, dangerous joy, and the rebirth of your creative power.
March 29 to December 20, 2025. Lilith enters Scorpio. She's in your 5th house now, Cancer rising.
You don't just reclaim your joy, you strip it naked, drag it through your wounds, and dare the world to call it too much.
Wow. Okay, heavy start. Now, before we go further, Lorenzo always stresses, look at your whole chart.
Right. This is specific for Cancer risings, but your sun sign, other planets, they all play a part.
Think of your rising sign like the filter, the lens through which you experience these big cosmic shifts. It's how you meet the world.
Exactly. Okay, chapter 1 from Lorenzo, who is Lilith in astrology.
Good question. What does he say?
Lilith is the exiled feminine, the one who said no and was cast out.
She is not a planet, but a point of pure distance, the moon's apogee, where truth is untouchable, wild, and holy.
Untouchable, wild, and holy. I like that.
In your chart, she shows where you're feared for being raw, where you're punished for your power, and where you reclaim yourself without asking.
That idea of the exiled feminine, reclaiming that part of yourself that maybe got shut down or judged, it feels very Lorenzo.
Totally.
Okay.
Chapter 2. Libra to Scorpio, what it means.
Right, the shift.
Libra in the 4th house was domestic darkness. You kept the peace while your inner child screamed. You smiled over ancestral pain, generational suppression, and fake family loyalty.
Oof. That hits close to home for, well, probably a lot of people.
But now Scorpio. Now it's your 5th house.
Okay, so the 5th house, that's usually creativity, romance, joy, kids, that kind of thing, right?
Exactly. So it's a move from that private, internal, maybe family-focused 4th house stuff
to something more expressive, more out there.
Right. And Lorenzo says, this isn't playtime anymore. This is dangerous joy.
Dangerous joy. There it is again. Unfiltered sex, obsessive creativity, powerful children, and the destruction of every version of fun that used to hide your shame.
So joy that feels risky. Maybe because it's too real.
Could be, he continues. Lilith in your 5th house burns the masks off your performance. She doesn't ask you to shine. She demands that you bleed art, love, pleasure, and creation from your deepest shadow.
Bleed it from your shadow. Okay. Intense.
Now, chapter 3. The aspects Lilith's possession timeline. And aspects, remember, are just the angles Lilith makes with other planets. They signal different vibes flow, tension, big meetings.
Got it. Okay, timeline. When does it start?
Lorenzo flags June 13th first. Trine Mercury in Cancer, 1st house. You find the words.
Ah, Mercury communication. And Cancer, your sign in the 1st house of self. Makes sense.
The first real self-expression comes out. It's bold, emotional, and perhaps too much for others. That's the point. You begin speaking for your inner child, not just your adult survival persona.
Okay, so a trine is usually flowing, right? Easy energy.
Generally, yeah. So communication flows with this raw self-expression. But then, just 2 days later, June 15, opposition Venus in Taurus, 11th house. You face the truth. Your dreams and your audience may not be compatible.
Opposition. That sounds like a clash. Venus is love, beauty, value. Taurus, stable. 11th house is groups, friends, hopes.
Right. Some friends want you small, likable, digestible. You're not anymore. So that authentic expression might rub some people the wrong way.
Yeah, I can see that. What's next?
July gets tricky. July 8 and 25 squares to Mercury in Leo, 2nd house. Money fights, value clashes.
Squares. Friction. Mercury again, but in Leo, bold expression. And second house is money, self-worth.
Exactly. You want to create or love fearlessly, but your brain is screaming scarcity. This is your war with self-worth. Lilith wants you to monetize truth, not approval.
Oh, monetizing truth, that's a big one. Putting a price on your authentic self.
Then a boost. July 10, trine sun in Cancer, first house, a surge of life force.
Oh, the sun, your core identity. Another trine, more flow.
You remember what it feels like to be fully you. Let this day be a selfie, a song, a performance, a confrontation raw and unrehearsed.
So lean into that authentic feeling. Don't censor it.
But August brings more challenges. August 7th, square sun in Leo, second house. You realize you've been selling yourself short to lovers, to audiences, to clients.
Another square, this time sun in the second. So that self-worth value thing again, but maybe more core identity involved.
Seems like it. Lorenzo calls it, "This is a financial identity crisis. Good. Burn it down."
Lorenzo doesn't mince words, does he?
Never. Then, August 9th square, full moon in Aquarius, 8th house. Sex, secrets, or shared energy erupts.
Full moon culmination. Aquarius may be unexpected.
Mm.
8th house, deep stuff, transformation, intimacy, shared resources. This sounds intense.
This is not romantic, it's transformational. It could be a loss, betrayal, or psychic climax that rips open your creative or sexual truth.
Wow, okay. Deep breaths for August. Anything gentler?
A bit later, August 13, trine Venus in Cancer, first house. Someone sees you fully.
Venus, back in your sign. Cancer, first house. Trying again. Flow.
A lover, an admirer, a mirror. This is the first kiss of self-love that doesn't feel like performance.
That sounds lovely, actually. A moment of real recognition.
But the money stuff isn't done. August 26, square Mercury Leo, second house. Another round of the money wound war.
Right, that Mercury square again.
You stop explaining why your voice, art, or love is worthy. Let them choke on silence.
Okay, drawing a line.
And then a potentially huge window. August 12/31, trine Jupiter in Cancer, first house. Massive blessing.
Jupiter, expansion, luck, big opportunities. Trying Lilith in the first. This sounds good.
Your joy becomes magnetic. Someone may discover your work, love you out loud, or offer something golden. But it only arrives because you stopped begging for scraps.
So the blessing comes after you claim your worth.
Interesting.
September continues the momentum. September 7, trine lunar eclipse in Pisces. 9th house. You see the big picture.
Endings, beginnings, Pisces, spiritual, dreamy. 9th house, philosophy, bigger meaning. Your art, your love, your story, it's spiritual philosophy now. You stop trying to fit in and start preparing to publish, perform, teach, or seduce the world with your truth.
Moving from fitting in to sharing your unique truth.
Okay, but still, that value piece. September 9, square Venus Leo, second house. You finally face the real poison. You've been pricing your love, your body, your joy based on what others can afford, not what it's worth.
That's brutally honest. Pricing based on others' affordability, not intrinsic worth. Ouch!
Then there's a nodal connection. September 5/13, trine North Node, Pisces sextile South Node, Virgo, a door open.
Nodes. Destiny, path forward. Pisces North Node, Virgo South Node.
Yeah.
Moving away from perfectionism.
Seems like it. You leave perfectionism behind. You follow your messy, divine passion. You may find a fated partner, project, or pregnancy that feels cosmic.
Messy, divine passion. I like that. Okay, moving into October.
Things get very direct in the fifth house. October 24, conjunct Mercury in Scorpio, fifth house. You speak your pleasure into existence.
Conjunct. Planets meeting up. Mercury, communication, in Scorpio, in the 5th house of pleasure, creativity. Powerful.
A lover's confession, a creative release, or a child, literal or metaphorical, delivers a message that shatters your numbness.
Speaking pleasure into existence. Wow.
Then, just 2 days later, October 26, conjunct Mars in Scorpio, 5th house, sexual ignition.
Mars. Drive, action, desire. Conjunct Lilith in Scorpio in the 5th. Okay, this sounds fiery.
If you're not having sex, you're dreaming of it, obsessed with it, or channeling it into art. This is feral attraction, raw hunger, or creative war.
Feral attraction, raw hunger, intense.
November is huge. November 19, new moon plus sun plus Lilith in Scorpio, 5th house, the rite of passion.
New moon, new beginnings. Sun, core identity, Lilith. All together in Scorpio, 5th house. This feels like the moment.
Lorenzo calls it the day to perform a ritual, launch something, conceive something, because it won't just be alive, it will be haunted with power. Your child, project, or love affair now carries your full essence.
Haunted with power. Chills.
Then Mercury goes retrograde. November 21, conjunct Mercury retrograde, 5th house. Someone from the past returns.
Mercury RX past echoes, a muse, a lover, a regret, a memory.
Lorenzo advises, don't try to fix it, listen to what it activates.
Good advice for any retrograde, really. What does it stir up now?
November 28, conjunct Venus, 5th house. Pleasure is sacred.
Venus again, conjunct Lilith.
Your taste returns. You crave what feeds your fire, and you won't fake joy ever again.
No more faking joy. That feels like a core theme.
December brings a final truth moment. December 11, conjunct Mercury, 5th house. Final truth. Mercury direct now.
So the communication gets clear.
You say what your heart has wanted to scream for years. Whether it's I love you or I'm done, you're now aligned.
Alignment. Powerful closing for the conjunctions.
And the whole transit wraps up with this energy. December 120, trine Saturn and Neptune in Pisces, 9th house. Your joy becomes your philosophy.
Saturn, structure, mastery. Neptune, dream, spirituality. Both in Pisces, 9th house. Trine Lilith.
Your art becomes your doctrine. You now live what you create, and others follow.
Wow. So it integrates into your whole belief system and maybe even inspires others.
That's the timeline Lorenzo lays out. Pretty intense journey.
Understatement.
Okay.
So now Lorenzo moves into like the deeper meaning. Chapter 4, the truth nobody's telling you.
Right. And this is where, knowing Lorenzo, he often goes against the grain.
Totally. What does he say here?
Every other astrologer will say, Lilith in the 5th means wild romance, intense creativity, or motherhood transformation. Wrong.
Okay, Lorenzo. Tell us why it's wrong.
Lilith in the 5th house is not about what you create. It's about what you refuse to create out of fear of being misunderstood.
Okay, that's different. Refuse to create.
Yeah. That book you didn't write, that art you didn't share, that orgasm you never had, that child you almost had or lost.
That really shifts the perspective. It's not about potential. It's about what was held back, inhibited.
Exactly. And he says, Lilith comes to show you. You didn't lose those things. You aborted them spiritually because you were terrified of the world's reaction to your real power.
Spiritually aborted them. Wow, that's a strong phrase.
Isn't it? Now, you bleed that power into reality, whether the world can handle it or not.
Bleed the power out. Okay. No more holding back.
Then he offers some, he calls them practical rituals and wow-level tools.
Yeah, practical stuff. Good. What are they?
Okay, number 1, write a forbidden joy list. Everything you've been told is too much. Sexually, artistically, romantically. Post it somewhere. Live by it.
A forbidden joy list. I love that. Acknowledge what felt off limits.
2, perform the red flame ritual on November 19. That key date again?
Right, the big new moon conjunction.
Light a red candle. Write a desire you've buried. Love, art, child, body. Speak. I name it. I claim it. I dare to want it. Then dance with it. Yes, dance.
Name it, claim it, dare to want it. And dance. Very embodied.
3, track your erotic dreams, obsessions, or patterns in children. They're coded messages. Lilith sends symbols, not instructions.
Pay attention to the subconscious signals, the symbols. Okay.
Okay. And then Lorenzo highlights something he feels gets missed.
What's that?
Hashtag one moment. You didn't lose your joy. You buried it alive.
Buried it alive. Jeez.
This is not about finding your joy, your love, your sexual expression, or your creative spark. It's about realizing you killed it to survive.
Killed it to survive. That hits hard. It wasn't just lost. It was actively suppressed.
Yeah. He lists examples. You suffocated it when you were punished for being too emotional, you loved too deeply and were rejected, your creativity was mocked, copied, or dismissed. You were told pleasure was selfish or dangerous. You feared birthing something you'd later be forced to abandon.
Okay, that's heavy recognition right there.
Yeah.
So many ways we learn to shut down.
And then he says, Lilith doesn't resurrect your joy. She raises the corpse of what you repressed and dares you to give it a second life.
Raise the corpse, give it a second, maybe unhinged life. Got it.
Then there's hashtag the nuance no one's mentioning.
Okay, what's the nuance?
Most astrologers will focus on wild sex, creative breakthroughs, or empowerment, but they miss this. The 5th house is where you're supposed to play. Scorpio is where you're forced to purge. Lilith is where you refuse to behave.
Play, purge, refuse to behave, all together.
So this is not fun. It's erotic grief. It's reclaiming dangerous innocence. It's where joy becomes weaponized truth.
Erotic grief, dangerous innocence, joy as weaponized truth. Those are some powerful concepts. It's definitely deeper than just have more fun.
Much deeper. And that leads to hashtag the hidden battle, pleasure versus control.
The core conflict.
Lilith in the 5th shows where you only allow joy if it's productive. You withhold love to stay in power. You fear your desire will ruin you. You've tried to parent your inner child instead of liberating them.
Right. Controlling joy, controlling love, controlling desire, controlling the inner child.
Lilith comes to end this performance. You will create what burns. You will love like a firestorm. And you will birth something that costs you your control, but returns your soul.
Giving up control to get your soul back.
Yeah.
That's the trade-off.
Seems to be. And now, for his very direct advice section.
Knowing Lorenzo, I'm ready. #tag practical and brutal advice no one else dares to say.
Okay, number 1, track where you sabotage joy the moment it shows up.
Notice the self-sabotage.
Got attention, you withdraw, felt pleasure, you feel guilty, want something, you convince yourself it's unsafe. That's Lilith's haunt. Write those patterns down, break 1 per week.
Okay, identify the pattern, break 1 a week. Actionable. Brutal, but actionable.
Number 2, identify the version of you that got punished for being too radiant. Childhood, a past love, a failed project, name it, revisit it, restage it.
Restage the moment you got shut down.
How?
November 19th is your rewrite day. That date, again, whatever you killed out of shame, create it again, but this time, let it be unhinged.
Rewrite day, create it again, unhinged. Okay, powerful. Number 3, use sexual energy for creation, not validation.
We talked about this. Channeling that intensity.
You'll be tempted to seduce others just to feel alive. That's old Lilith. New Lilith wants you to turn that arousal into legacy right. Film, draw, dance, record. Don't let that heat go to waste.
Turn arousal into legacy. Got it. Don't waste the heat.
Number 4, perform the wild vow ritual on November 19th.
Another ritual for that day. What's the vow?
Dress in something that makes you feel excessively you. Light a candle. Say aloud, I vow to stop parenting my pleasure. I vow to play like I've already been punished. I vow to let my joy be dangerous and still do it anyway.
Yeah, play like I've already been punished. That's liberating in a way.
Burn something symbolic you've outgrown. An old script, a letter, a rule book.
Let go of the old rules.
Okay.
And number 5.
Watch how children, animals, and lovers react to you now.
How others respond. Why?
They will feel you've changed because your field is now raw, sovereign, and magnetic. That's Lilith working through you.
So the external world reflects the internal shift. Look for the signs in how others react to your energy. Makes sense.
And that leads to Lorenzo's final point, his #tag closing truth.
Okay, lay it on us.
You don't need more discipline. You need more permission to erupt.
Permission to erupt, not discipline. That feels key.
Lilith in the 5th won't hand you love or talent. She'll hand you your rawest self and say, show them what you look like when you stop asking to be liked.
Wow. Stop asking to be liked. Just
Yeah.
be. That's Lorenzo, all right. Direct, powerful, really makes you think.
Absolutely. It's a forecast that really pushes you, doesn't it? To look at those hidden parts, the suppressed joy, the creativity you held.
For
right?
sure. That idea of joy being buried, not lost, just waiting. It's really compelling.
It gives you so much to chew on, especially if you're a Cancer rising going through this. And Lorenzo's perspective, as always, is just so unique, profound.
It really is. It makes you ask yourself, what parts of this forecast are hitting home for you right now?
Yeah, what's resonating? What's that dangerous joy you might actually be ready to, unleash?
And it all loops back to that core idea he ended with, giving yourself permission.
Exactly.
So maybe the thought to leave you with is this. What would you create? How would you love? What would you do if you truly, deeply stopped asking for permission?